Alright, HadesOmega here. So I'm changing out the shock linkages on my 92 KLR650 here, and I'll tell you the reason why. Reason being is when I bought this bike, it had a lowering linkage on it by Quality Engineering, and well, the person I bought this bike from was he was kind of a short guy, so he needed to have the bike lowered for him to ride it. But I'm finding that I'm riding it too aggressively, or I got too much stuff on the bike, and this has happened to this lovely Jardine muffler. It's got a hole in it now, and a big dent. So it's from the caliper hitting the muffler. So what I've decided to do is put the stock linkages back on, because well, never had that problem before until I put luggages on the bike. So it the suspension is just too soft, you know, and there's not enough travel, or it's not tall enough, so it wasn't meant to be lowered like that. So, but I mean, if you're not riding with anything else, if you're just if it's just you and you don't weigh too much, it should be okay. But anyway, that's the reason I'm changing the linkages. So I'm changing it back to the stock ones. These are the stock ones right here. So you notice they marked it with the L. One side goes on the left side and one side goes on the right side. These are also they're called like dog bones, because they look like a dog bone. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just gonna swap those out, swap it back to the stock ones, and get the stock height back. So yeah, hopefully it kind of works out, because I installed a supermoto wheel on this, and it's it's like 2 inches lower than stock, so I may have to play with the sag a bit. It's so annoying. Alright, but we'll see how it handles. So the first thing to do, is undo the nuts to these to the bolts holding the linkages in. So to do that, you should jack your bike up on a stand, like how I have mine. I have this handy dandy Harbor Freight stand, and then get like another smaller jack, or just a jack, and then and have something to support the wheel when you take the linkages out, because when you take them out, it's gonna flop down. So top to it. Alright, so before this, you might want to clean your bike, or at least clean the linkages with some kind of like bike wash or engine cleaner spray, or wear gloves like me. So I'm just gonna clean stuff as I take it off. Yeah, so I'm wearing gloves because it's pretty dirty. I don't want to get my hands dirty. So 22 millimeter is the size of the bolt of the nut. Okay, so the other side is a 17 millimeter. If it gives you any trouble, just go ahead and use this. I mean, trouble as in it just spins. But I'm just gonna give it a shot with my impact gun here. Hopefully it'll come off. No problem. There's one. Can't seem to. There it is. It's got a lot of grease and stuff on it. And two. So it's probably under a lot of pressure right now, so this is why it probably won't come out. Okay. So now what you want to do is go to the other side, and then you want to take that 17 millimeter. I have a lot of room to work with on this bike. Alright. So you can kind of see in there. See here. So there's one of the linkages. No. First, probably want to get a hammer. Just a small one. One with a rubber end, so you don't mess up the bolt. Just hit the bolt out. There. Just a little bit. take it out on this side. Maybe. Here's what I want to do. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see, but so what I'm doing is I'm pushing the bolt out and I'm wiggling it on this side at the same time. That should help encourage it out. It seems to be, it's pushing the whole link is the problem. Yeah, so what it's trying to do is pull the link out. It's better. You can pull the link out. Pull the link out a little bit and then push it back in. Because then after a while, pretty much everything is loaded onto this one here. Or you can kind of get a pry bar here. Pry it out a little bit once it comes out a little. So now that you kind of got a grip on it, take it out more easily. Let's do the same thing for the other side. That will maybe come out. Seem to get the pry bar in there. Yep. So this one looks like it's a little harder to get out because it's in a tight place. Side stand. So you get the picture, just get the bolts out. So alright, to kind of help, what I did is I pried it, when I got it enough out where I could pry it out, I just, I used the chain as leverage and I pried it out like that. So that's one trick you can do for the top. Okay, so I managed to get it out this far. As you can see, they're out quite a bit, but it's being really stubborn. So make sure you have the wheel supported. I don't know, maybe it has something to do with it getting stuck on there. So just go ahead and oh good. Oh, if it's okay. So there it is. If it's having trouble coming out, just go ahead and use a 17. Try to spin it out. It's being really annoying. Alright, so I was able to get it out. Once I took the bottom one out, the top one is pretty easy to take out. So there it is, it's out. It's super dirty. Yuck. So you're going to want to go ahead and clean your bolts. So all this stuff might have fallen out when you take yours out. So just remember, there's it's supposed to be like a bearing in here, and there's it's like a bearing spacer here. Yeah, there's a spacer here. Man, these are dirty. Yeah, so just make sure that's in there, and then this is covering it. So this is like the sealed cover for it. Just make sure that's over like that. There should be one on the other side too. So while you got this stuff out, it'd be a good idea to inspect it. So remember how So there's just kind of like a spacer in there, or a bushing, and then there's a cover for it. Both of them have this. So what you want to do is inspect it. So each side has one of these bearing covers here. Sorry, it's hard to see, it's dark. And the whole thing will come out. Make sure it's clean as it comes out. So in there you see all the needle bearings. But I'm looking at it, and it's still got a lot of grease on it. Now it's up to you. If you want to take the bearings out and clean them, you just stick your finger in there and you pull them out. But these are needle bearings, and like it'll come apart. I've done this before on my DR650, and like, yeah, these bearings, see the needles, the rollers come out. They don't stay in there. So if you take it out and you try to clean it, they're all gonna come out. So the best thing to do is to keep it in there. If it looks fine, don't touch it, and it does look fine. So I'm gonna put this back in, hopefully, and if the needle, and double check to make sure those bearings are still in there, because they may have fallen out when you take out your linkages. But now is probably a good time if you want to service that. If you want to take the bearings out, like I said, and you can clean them and then pack them with new grease. But like I said, the whole thing is gonna fall. It's gonna come apart, and you're gonna have to. The grease is basically what holds it in together. So yeah. So you just go ahead and check both of them to see if they look okay. And then what you want to do next is clean your bolts. Clean your bolts as best you can. Clean the nuts, and then get your links ready to be installed. So these are the old ones. These are the old ones. Oh, they're aluminum. They're really light, but they're thick. So you can see they're about, not that much longer, about an inch longer. I'll put them side by side when I clean them up.